talking about the average 8-ounce drink, we're talking like anywhere from like 12 to a 32-ounce cup, you know? So we're not talking about just a regular 8-ounce or a 4-ounce drink.
So, and for you though, Reg, you know, you're the amount that you drink, you know, you enjoy drinking. You like how it makes you feel. It helps you relax and things like that. Anything else been going on that's been kind of not so good about drinking?
That's a good question. You know, the hangovers.
Yeah.
They're getting kind of long.
Yeah.
You know, I wish I could bounce back a little quicker from those. And you know, I have been forgetting some things sometimes. You know, but you know, as long as she remind me, I'm cool. Okay. And I mean, that's what you're supposed to do, my wife.
Okay.
I'm so.
And, you know, I had that one incident where, you know,
Which one? Just one?
Yeah, the one incident where I'm embarrassed to admit it, but I actually wet myself in the bed. You know?
Okay.
I got so drunk I didn't even remember. I just pissed all over myself.
Okay. That must have been embarrassing for you.
That was really embarrassing, yeah, and somebody wouldn't let me live it down.
Yeah. So the next morning you had to deal with what that was like for you, which is, not a good feeling.
No, not at all, because I mean, it felt like, I just felt awkward because I've never been to that point before, and at least not that I remember, and I just don't want to get that far out of control again. But you know, I think I got it under control now, though.
Okay.
Oh, there was another time where you were really out of control.
Yeah.
When?
Remember about 6 months ago when Jeffrey had his basketball game, and I asked if you were gonna ride with us, and you said no, Steve's gonna pick me up. And I said okay, but on the way to the game, you and Steve just stopped and decided to have some drinks. And about time you got there, Jeffrey was playing, and then the ref called a call, and you like literally jumped up and was just really embarrassing, all loud, and you don't remember that?
Yeah, I remember somewhat, yeah. I mean, what's your point?
My point is, you were drunk, loud, and embarrassing, not only to me, but to your son and the other families around us.
So you have some vague memory of
He
that
blacks out
night.
more than what he knows. I just don't bring it up.
Okay.
Like,
I do remember that, though.
You remember that?
I do, and that was really embarrassing because I mean, after the fact, I realized that I like put my son in a bad way, and I made him look bad. And my kids, you know, I want to be a good dad, but I didn't have a dad growing up, you know, and I really want to be a good dad for them. So I mean, I thought I was doing right by arguing the call, but at the end of the day, it really. I know it embarrassed my son. I know it did. So, I mean, I felt really, really bad about that.
You really want to be the dad that you didn't have when you were growing up, and when you woke up the next morning.
Yeah, I didn't feel that way, no.
Yeah, felt like you'd let your son down.
A lot, yeah.
and how did you know you let him down? What did he do?
I don't even remember, to be honest with you. I was so hungover. What did he do?
He ended up, for the next morning, you guys were actually supposed to get up and go and do some miniature golf with a couple people on the team, but that didn't happen. So he was pretty upset and stayed in his room most of the day. You didn't notice that? And that when you talked to him, he was kind of like, and a couple times you were like, speak up, I can't hear what you're saying, because he was kind of like mumbling to you.
So because it sounds like on one hand, you know, you're still having fun with drinking, and on the other hand, it's really getting in the way of some stuff with your family, and your family is really important to you. You know, you're here with Clarissa, your wife, and you love your children, and family is important to you, right? And you know, so. What else? What else is going on with your drinking?
I mean, the one thing, the drinking on the weekend, because that's really the only time I really drink. You can't count the stuff during the week, 'cause that's not, major. But on the weekend, I feel bad about not being able to go to church. But if she'd wake me up, maybe I'd be able to get to church.
Well, 5 times out of the last 4 months, you've missed church. And I was reading in this book on alcoholism that says something about if you were to have more than 14 to 15 drinks a week can be considered a problem. Now, I'm just something that I read out of a book. But you have 14 drinks by Wednesday.
Why don't I just get one big drink?
That would be the solution for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like a 64 ounce instead of a 40 ounce.
Yeah. But you mentioned that you miss church, and that means something to you.
Yeah. I mean, we grew up, we came together partner, but we went to church too, and I was raised to go to church. My mom and them wouldn't
Been
be
at
too
the same
kind.
church for years.
Yeah.
And when he's not there, guess who has to answer those questions of why he's not there?
You do. So, but it would. So, and your relationship with the Lord is important to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, because it's part of your family too. The Lord is part of your family. Yeah. So what are you thinking at this point? When as I'm listening to you, have there been any times in the past where you've thought, maybe I want to do something a little bit different with my drinking? Have you ever done anything like cut back a little bit, or said, "Oh, great, good for you"? What did you do?
Well, a while ago, my doctor, I had an appointment, and he told me that I was having some health problems. Like I was borderline hypertensive and borderline diabetic, and he said the alcohol really wasn't helping either of those at all. So I thought, I really want to be there for my family, for my kids especially. So I didn't buy as much alcohol before, and I didn't hang around my friends as much as I do now. Just for that's about all I can remember. I mean, that seemed to work for the time.
Okay.
To cut back some.
Okay. So you cut back some, and you kind of weren't hanging with your drinking buddies as much.
I was, but not as much.
Not as much. Okay. And what did you notice about how you felt physically when you didn't drink?
I felt a little better, but I mean, at the same time, I felt like sluggish, like irritable, like a grumpy bear, just crabby.
Crabby. Crabby.
Yeah.
You missed it. Missed your drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I shouldn't say I missed my drink. That relaxation. You know what I mean? That's what I call it. I don't call it a drink. I call it relaxation.
Also in that book, I read that, you probably could have been just going through also some withdrawals now that when I'm sitting here listening and thinking